about hate crimes. And, like, I look back at it and it's kind of funny. Like, no, hate crimes are not funny. But just the way I was reacting, because I was so drunk, like, it was kind of funny. And, so I'm just like, I'm gonna call the police, blah, blah, blah. So, this guy who, like, was in the building, he's like, dude, like, we call, like, don't worry about it. Like, we kicked the people that were throwing shit at you out. You know, no need to call the police, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, I was hurt. So, I obviously had to call the cops. So, I called the non-emergency number and just was like, you know what, hey, just so you know, I was a victim of a hate crime. This is what happened. I didn't exactly say, oh, it was this apartment. I just said, okay, it's on this street. I got beer bottles thrown at me. I'm not looking for anyone to get arrested. I'm just letting you know that this type of shit is going on in your campus. And I left an anonymous tip. They asked me, you know, do you want to go to a hospital, blah, blah, blah. At this point, Becky took me to my dorm, and I ended up not going to the other party. It was pretty late anyway. And I was fine. I didn't seem to have a concussion. I wasn't bleeding. I just kind of had a little bit of a bump. And, but yeah. I mean, that's my Halloween last year. Hopefully this year it won't be that bad. I'm probably just gonna stay with the theater kids where everyone's accepted and, you know, just chill out and have a good time. Alright, what else is there to say? Halloween is awesome. Halloween is fantastic because you get to do this type of shit. I don't know. Oh, another reason why I love Halloween, all the horror movies that are on TV, all the ghost specials that are on Halloween. I freaking love all those types of shows. Like, I literally dreamed, like, it's still actually one of my, like, biggest dreams to be on Scariest Places on Earth. Even though I think I'm pretty sure it got canceled, you know, I can still dream. I can still dream. Let's see. Oh, I actually have a ghost story if you guys want to hear. Like, this is actually something that happened to me, and a lot of people kind of get creeped out by this, so maybe I'll share that story. Let's see. For those who don't know or didn't see the last video, I actually lived in Mexico for a couple of years. I actually went to middle school there and came back to the States for freshman year of high school. And when I was living there, my family would go to these type of rodeo things, and I was just not into them. Like, it was not my scene, so I would just stay home alone. And our house, we have this, like, we have our house, and then connected to it is this, like, shed type of little house that's actually connected to our house. And we actually had windows put in the kitchen and in the dining room, because we used to keep pigs in there, because this is in a ranch, and we used to keep, like, pigs in there, and we just throw scraps out there for the pigs to eat. And the shed was just turned into, like, a storage space. Like, it's where we kept, like, all our stuff, and nobody really went in there, and it was chained up because animals would sometimes get in, or, you know, we just chained it up with, like, chains, because you know, we just didn't want anybody to come in and steal our shit. So I'm home alone, and yeah, I'm just kind of, like, watching TV, whatever, and it's pretty late, it's pretty dark outside, and in Mexico, like, mind you, like, I lived in a ranch, in a rural town, so there aren't really any, like, lights outside, any, like, street lights, so I'm just kind of there, and it's pretty dark outside, and I'm just watching TV, and I start hearing noises in the shed, and I'm just like, okay, whatever, like, you know, it might just be the wind, like, hitting the doors. And the noises just kept on getting, like, louder and louder and louder. And I was just like, okay, what the shit is going on? So, I go into the dining room where we have the window that's connected to the shed. And I'm just like, I just sit there, like, and I turn off the TV so I can hear clearly. And clear as day, like, you could hear footsteps in there. Like, big footsteps. And I'm just like, okay, like, maybe an animal got in, because there are a lot of stray animals that sometimes, like, walk into your property, like donkeys and stuff. I lived in a rural town. It sounds weird for all of you, maybe, but it's just the way it was. Like, sometimes there'd be random cows in our property. So I was like, okay, maybe, like, a cow or, like, a donkey got in our property, because they were loud footsteps. And then, so I was just like, okay, whatever, you know. So what you normally do is, if something gets in your property, you just scare it away. So I grab my lamp, and I start walking out. And I go through the backyard, and go to the shed door. And the shed door is chained up. I completely forgot that it was chained up. And I start flipping out. Like, I'm literally freaking out. Like, why am I hearing these things? Like, it was really scary. So then, I just go inside, and I'm really freaked out at this point, and I don't know what to do, because, like, my parents weren't home. So I just, stayed there the night, and, you know, kept on hearing shit. And then the next day, when it was what's it called? Light outside, because it was in the morning, I went out, and we keep a water bottle full of holy water. It's just kind of like a Mexican thing to do. And so I took it, and I just sprayed some on all the entrances of the house. And since then, I did not hear anything in the shed. Another time, though, I kind of got a little bit curious and did kind of like a makeshift Ouija board, and I wasn't really getting anything. And again, this was actually with my cousins. Our parents had gone out, and it was just me and two of my cousins, and I was just trying to freak them out. So I, like, made a makeshift Ouija board, and so, like, nothing really happened, like, nothing moved. So I just kind of ignored it, whatever. And that night, we were in bed, and I heard footsteps in the living room, because my room was next to the living room. And I just assumed, like, okay, you know, our parents are home, whatever. And I just kept hearing footsteps. And I was just like, so I just, you know, get up, and I'm like, Mom, Dad, like, is that you? And I don't hear a response. So I'm just kind of like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm too tired to think of anything of it, so I just start falling back asleep. Next thing you know, a chair, like, I had a chair next to my bed, slams into my bed frame. Like, legit, just slams into my bed frame. Scariest moment of my life. Since then, I have never played with a Ouija board, never tried to summon any sort of demons. No, I don't play with that shit anymore. Like, it gives me the chills just thinking about it right now. Alright, I think that's all I have to say for now. Tell us what you guys are for Halloween. I love seeing other people's Halloween costumes. I love helping out with people's Halloween costumes. I actually handmade my little brother's costume. He's being Chowder. I will put up pictures, because the costume is ridiculous. The hat, oh my god, I have to show you guys the hat. Amazeballs. So cool. Alright, well, that's it for me. Have a fun and safe Halloween weekend. Let me know how it goes, and I want to see all your costumes, and have fun. It's the only weekend where you're allowed to be a hot mess, except on your birthday, of course. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. See you guys. Peace.